I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to share something very new, and this is called emotional compartmentalisation. It's a theory that I've designed about how that we can compartmentalise emotions, not just put them to one side. I was with a pair of clients, and at that time my phone kept buzzing off in my bag, and normally it's on silent. Because it was so persistent, I asked permission. Do you mind if I answer this call? Because it's my mum. I said, no, Mum, I always answer. So I said, I'm really sorry. And they said, look, go ahead, please, Mr. Garner, answer your phone. And then I answered, and I'm in Saudi Arabia, so a long, long way away from home. And she says at that moment, you just found out your dad's got cancer. This was last November. And to give some context, my mum and dad are my best friends. Mm-hmm. They're really, really important to me. And that was really hard to hear. And at that moment, because we'd already been doing work on compartmentalisation of emotions, and I said, I addressed my client and I said, now's the time we're going to do about emotional compartmentalisation. He's like, are you sure? Is this the right time? Mm-hmm. And I said, this is definitely the right time, because I've just got to get into a car shortly. And that's like a lethal weapon, particularly in Saudi Arabia, where their driving is a little bit crazy sometimes. So then I talked to them, I said, well, and I got the maths, and I went, so where do you think I was? And so there and then, he started to point out different emotions. There was one that sort of made us laugh. He said, you're probably overwhelmed, because I can see you're about to cry any minute now, and that just made things worse. I was like, yeah, you're probably right.
Vulnerable.
So it came in, so vulnerable, overwhelmed, and then he said, where are you, frustrated? And I said, yeah, because I'm here. I also felt guilty because I'm so far away, and that my parents need me right now. So I told them the technique of what we effectively do is we name the emotions, we verbalize them, and then we have a process of visualizing. Now I chose here, you can put them under your hat or anywhere, but visualizing your emotions. And now I'm going to tell my emotions that it's okay to have them, you validate it, but I'm going to be in a car shortly, and I want you to stay put, and I will unpack you when I get to my destination at a particular time. So once you've done that, they sort of stay there. Now you jump to pragmatism, which is this central part here. When you get there, what emotions would be best employed for me to drive? Well, if somebody starts flashing their lights or cutting me up, I'm going to have some consideration, some optimism, some hope that maybe they're in a hurry. Maybe there's some reason why they're driving like they are. And therefore I don't react. You've almost pre-programmed yourself in a car. And sure enough, I jumped in the car and I'm driving, and people did what they did, and I found myself smiling. I found myself really proud and content that I was able to be in control of my emotions instead of letting my emotions control myself. Mm-hmm. You then get to your destination, and like I've promised, we're going to unpack. I go up to my room, and we then, each emotion that I've already labeled, we literally, and visualization and verbalization, we pull out the emotions and say, and how I was feeling, and that was when I cried. Then, after I finished, I picked up the telephone and had a conversation with my dad.